From ballrooms to battlefields, memorials to marches, the history of America is often reflected and powered by song. The Star-Spangled Banner, the Battle Hymn of the Republic, Born in the USA. Well, now country music legend Tim McGraw and Pulitzer Prize-winning historian Jon Meacham are teaming up to explore it all in a new book. It's called Songs of America, Patriotism, Protest, and the Music that Made a Nation. Guys, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm not going to call you the odd couple, but this was a pairing that I did not expect, knowing both of you.
I still don't expect it.
No. And why does he get to be a legend, exactly?
Wait, you're legendary, too.
I appreciate that.
Because I'm older than you, Jon.
Well, that's true.
Be a legend.
That's true. I'm much wiser, but he is older.
So this kind of was born in somebody's living room. And yours, Tim's?
My porch.
Your porch.
Jon, you
Nashville.
Can tell the story,
I hate to say this, and it's the only nice thing I'm going to say about McGraw, but this
said a few nice things.
This was his idea. He asked, I'd written a book last year about moments in our history that felt like this one. Tough, no matter where you stand, you're not really thrilled about the way politics is going. And Tim said, have you ever thought about the role music played in these moments? And honestly, I hadn't. And what's so fascinating is when you climb back inside it, from the revolution all the way through 9/11, you can tell both the tension of an era, but also its hope and its optimism in the music of the time.
How did you pick the songs? Because I know it's not supposed to be an encyclopedic recitation of every song from the history of time.
No, I mean, our goal is that you read the book and you discover songs that you didn't know about. I think we referenced probably 160 so songs in the book, but that's just scratching the surface of all the music out there that made a difference in the progression of our country and the reflection of our country at the times things were happening. So our hope is that you dig in and you see the songs that we wrote about, that I wrote some sidebars about, and then you listen to those songs and it inspires you to look up more songs and get into more songs and start learning about more songs.
Is there a song that has inspired you or affected you as a musician that's in this kind of patriotic vein?
Well, you know, Battle Hymn of the Republic is one of those songs that Julia Ward Howe wrote
one night.
Single night at the Willard Hotel in Washington, D.C.
We have a little clip. Let's play it. That song has been sung many times in our history, but note the date. It's 3 days after 9/11 at the National Prayer Service. It's hard to have a dry eye when you look at that.
Absolutely.
That was when President Bush, from that lectern, said, we are in the middle hour of our grief. This conflict began on the timing in terms of others. It will end at a time and on our terms. It also, there was some debate before the service about was the battle hymn too defiant? And George W. Bush said, defiance is good. And in that he echoed. The first time Abraham Lincoln heard that hymn was at the Capitol building, and he said, sing it again.
There's another song. Actually, we have a combo. It's We Shall Overcome and Blowing in the Wind by Bob Dylan.
I think John Lewis had told us that the civil rights, the marching in the civil rights era would not have been possible without its music. And the music that it reflected the times and told the story and progressed us forward and caused us to look in the mirror and look at ourselves and look what was going on in our country and in the world. So, you know, that kind of music has a way of connecting emotion to history, especially when you look back at it. And now when you look back at those songs and those moments, you say, look what these songs did. Look how we remember these songs. Look how we remember these artists. And I think there was, it was just a time that people were really socially conscious about what was going on, and those songs reflect that.
And I hate to say this as a prose guy, but you can hear a song in a more emotional way than you can read either a page about it or listen to a speech. So even if you're on the other side of an issue, there's something about Dylan or Peter, Paul and Mary or Pete Seeger that you at once have an individual reaction, but also a collective experience. And I think what we need in this country more than ever, whether you're a Republican or Democrat, red or blue, wherever you are, we need to have more collective experiences.
We have one more song. This is more from the modern era. It's Brooks and Dunn, Only in America.
Brooks and Dunn are good friends of mine, and that song's actually written before 9/11, but after 9/11 happened, it became one of those songs that you recognize that sort of makes you think of 9/11 and makes you think of everything that was going on at that point.
One of the things I like about this project and this book is it does remind us of our patriotic songs. And, you know, it's okay to be patriotic. I think that it feels good for people to remember what the ties that bind us and what we have in common.
Absolutely.
You celebrate and you critique. That's what America does. you do both because we're on the road to a more perfect union, not a perfect one.
And the friction's always there, and it's always been there. And I think sometimes John and I were talking, people get caught up in what's going on now, and it's never been this bad before. Well, we've been fighting for a long time. Yeah.
You know, the Civil War was not great.
Yeah.
And it's not just to minimize what we have, but you know what? The message of Blowing in the Wind or the message of the Battle Hymn of the Republic is that we can move forward.
Well, there's no real segue here, but I just had to mention to Tim that you recently went on vacation. I know you caught a couple of fish. We have a picture. I think we have the picture to show, but nobody's noticing the fish in that picture, Tim. And here's Meacham's vacation. Let's see it. Guys, you make a great pair. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
I wish I were your neighbor in Nashville. Tim and Jon, thank you. The book is called Songs of America. You can find more about it today.com/shop.